Welcome to CFC Fan TV. I'm delighted to be joined by the one and only James Alcott here at Ball Street. So, we've just done a video on the Ball Street channel. It's live now. Make sure that you go over and check it out. The link to it is in the description below. And we've been talking about Chelsea selling Eden Hazard to Real Madrid. It was an interesting chat and I just want to explore it a bit further. So we thought we'd bring it over here and continue the conversation. We just sort of put a figure out there and I said to you that I think that if Eden Hazard does go to Real Madrid, they're going to have to smash all transfer records ever, or give us some serious players, some serious players actually. Can you see? Do you think either of those will happen?
Do you know what I think? I hadn't thought about that, but I think there's a lot in that because Real Madrid have a lot of good players, and Sarri I didn't know a huge amount about Sarri, but once he moves across, and it's we've got to do our research and look into them, and he seems really exciting as a coach, and I mean the word coach because it seems like he does make players better. So if you can get some good players from Real Madrid that you've scouted properly and they've got the right character, they've probably got the ability because they're at Real Madrid, and so if you've got someone who's already got the ability and can be coached to be even better,
absolutely,
then maybe there's something.
It's a sign of it's a hallmark actually of a great coach, isn't it? If you can take a player with a certain amount of ability, raw natural ability, but then create them into one of the finest players. For example, what Jose Mourinho did to Frank Lampard.
Right.
He took a player who had an abundance of ability, but made him Frank Lampard finished second to the Ballon d'Or. He made him that good a player. Yeah,
and you see that with Koulibaly, who you guys are linked with, and I think would be a real sort of gem for you to get, because Sarri, when he went to Napoli, the big thing that he was kind of saying a lot of the time was that he's gonna make these players better, and he has. Yeah. And Koulibaly is a great example of that. Somebody who they thought wasn't that great on the ball, and he's actually this sort of secondary quarterback for him a lot of the time in the way that he plays with these bounce back passes that he does all the time.
He turned Mertens into a wonderful talent as well, didn't he? He made him, he took a good player and made a great player.
Yeah, absolutely. And so he's got that, and I think he's gonna need to do that. I think also, I wonder if maybe we're giving him too much credit. Does Abramovich, is he seeing that he's got this amazing supply of youngsters who again are winning things, and he wants to get them involved a bit more? Maybe he just needs a coach that's going to be brave enough to use them or move them forward and develop them.
I mean, do you know what my fear there is though, mate? This is my big worry over Sarri. I think it's a very exciting appointment. It's one that we haven't had at Chelsea for a long time. Somebody who's going to come in and completely rip up the rule book. It's going to be a new ethos, absolutely new blueprint, and let's see how we go. My worry is we have a board who have historically been very trigger happy. So we're going to bring in a manager whose remit is to change it up. Yeah. Generally, change takes time. Yeah. Guardiola didn't win a trophy for his first year at Man City, but was given time, and look at them now. I just hope that if we're going to give Sarri this opportunity, we have to stick with it. Yeah. And that's what I'm worried about. But if we do, the potential of having Eden Hazard playing under Sarri, and whoever's going to come in, Golovin is looking good. There's a few potentials.
I mean, we've got it kind of in front of us here. The team, the players, that you're linked with, and the players that you're not. I think if you get as much of getting people in, it's just keeping people, because you've got people who you can be excited about for what Sarri's way of playing can bring. Hazard, you would expect to score a lot more goals. 12 goals last season, 10 from open play. But that was in a really defensive team that kind of sat back and counter-attacked. And there's a lot of worth in that. But it seems like the way that, if you watch Napoli and how they play, there's a lot of this sort of tapping about. But then they attack quickly.
It's blitzkrieg, isn't it?
That could suit him so well. And also suit Giroud a lot better up top as that striker. I struggle to figure out where Conte's going to fit in it.
Yes,
but I guess that's without the ball more than with the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Conte is a gift to any team. So Sarri will be looking at it, and he's also actually with Conte, he's also very good on the ball. Yeah, it is a slight myth in football that he's this water carrier. I think people see him as a sort of Deschamps player who does all the donkey work and then lays it off to a better player. And that actually couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah, he's better than
He's
that.
got a very incisive pass in him. He can spray a long ball. He's got
Drive
very
with
good.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I think he will certainly, play and start under Surrey. There are a few others who I'm not quite sure how it will work out. I think Willian is.
He's got the legs. Yeah.
I'm not sure that Willian is. I think he's too profligate to work well under Surrey.
Right.
And I think for that alone, like you when you play that system, you can't give the ball away constantly. And Willian, although on his day is excellent, and I'm going to get a lot of grief for saying that, people on this channel particularly aren't a fan of his.
Right.
He's a man who's not. I don't think he's going to be good enough to play this Sarri system. So he'll go, and then it will be a case of who comes in, and yeah, it's exciting. Do you think everything that we're saying here about Chelsea under Sarri and how exciting it could be, do you think that will be enough to make Eden Hazard want to stay?
I think, and we dived into it on the Ball Street video. I think it is so. I understand your optimism as a Chelsea fan with it, despite what he said, because something's not totally right about it. I think we spoke on my channel in March, and I totally agree with you. I thought he's gone because Zidane's there. You've got this great squad here. He would fit in really well. Bale's not really feeling it anymore. All those factors made you think, yeah, perfect fit. This time round, if he goes there, they're still missing a striker. They're still missing a guy who's going to score the goals, because Benzema's not scored the goals. I think he scored. I dare I say a stat, but the goals weren't there.
Do you know what, James? Though you've got to be very careful trying to think of a player or even a system or anything to replace Ronaldo's goals, because it doesn't exist. It's an like insurmountable amount of goals that you have to try and replicate. In fact, it's probably the amount of goals that you wouldn't get 3 players scoring.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna.
Insane.
So I think Hazard going in, although he's never going to be a direct replacement for Ronaldo, and he'll never be that ruthless in front of goal. It's not Hazard's game. He does have a lot of the right attributes to replace Ronaldo. Obviously he's missing a lot of the.
He can be the main man. You're right. They will have to play a totally different style.
Yes, absolutely.
But that will come. So I think if Hazard's looking at this, I think either he goes, I'm excited by Sarri and I want to see what can happen here, or I've just always wanted to play for Real Madrid. Either way, next season should not be the reason why you should pick either team for me. For Hazard, you should be going, I want to go to Real Madrid because in the 4 or 5 years I'm going to be there, I want to become a legend and I want to win a Champions League.
And a Ballon d'Or.
Or I want to stay at Chelsea because I want to be there for the next 4 years. I want to play under a manager who's going to create a team that fits me perfectly.
Yeah. And I want to go down as Chelsea's greatest ever player.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In terms of fitting perfectly, the one thing I do worry about with Hazard that Conte gave him was free reign and no defensive responsibilities.
Yeah, I mean,
Will Sarri do that? That might be a problem too.
I think that did happen with Hazard and Conte on occasion, but he was also shackled by Conte. Like there were moments where he was allowed to flourish, particularly in the year that we won the league. But there were also moments where he just wasn't allowed to be the man that we know he can be. And Conte he's a disciplinarian, and I don't necessarily think that fitted Hazard's attributes as perfectly as these will.
Yeah.
I think the way that Sarri plays football is just going to completely if it's going to talk to one man at this club, it's going to be Eden Hazard.
Yeah.
So for those reasons, I genuinely believe that he should stay. I think that if you're Hazard looking at this, firstly, your little brother wants you to stay. Your little brother's always going to be right. He's got your best interests at heart. Right, everyone else whispering in his ear though is going to be thinking, I'm on a cut of the transfer fee, I've got this going on, I want to go to Spain, I don't want to go to... They've got all vested interests. Everyone else he speaks to is going to have some level of vested interest. Brother won't.
He don't care, yeah.
Brother don't. Brother's on a contract at Chelsea, earning good money. He's going to say what he thinks best for him. Sarri is huge in this. So you got Kylian. You've got Sarri himself. You've got the potential of becoming one of the Premier League's best ever footballers. You've got the potential of having a statue built for you at Stamford Bridge. You've got a happy life in London. I think going down as Chelsea's great... Like, he's not going to go down as Real Madrid's greatest ever player. Like, you're never going to be Di Stefano Ronaldo, are you? Or Ronaldo Di Stefano now, maybe. But it's always going to be... You're never going to be... Whereas at Chelsea, he could be... he could become... Peter Osgood, Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard, Johnson. He could become one of those legends.
I still don't think he cares. I'm sorry.
What? I care.
I think I like I understand why you care.
But you'd care, everyone, wouldn't you? I mean, I'd care if it wasn't Chelsea as well. You know, if I was say I was going to go down as Sampdoria's greatest ever player, I'd be like, yeah.
Has come after the Champions League win?
Hazard came in the year after. Yeah.
Right. He's not won the Champions League. He wants the Champions League. He wants all the things that he wanted as
just
a 10-year-old.
Just to play in it would be.
He wants all the things that he wanted as a 10-year-old, which is play for the best team in the world, play in that fresh white kit, play in the Champions League final.
I
don't think he cares.
I see. I get where you're coming from. I do because I fully concede and appreciate the allure of Real Madrid. I get it, but I just don't think that it's the best time. Maybe it's the best club for Hazard. Ultimately, it's the best club, but I don't think it's the best timing. I think that timing could be crucial because if we can tie him up on a 4-year deal, if Sarri comes in and we suddenly start playing beautiful, expansive football, if we then qualify for the Champions League, we then have a chance of winning it. I think that a lot can change in a year. So if we can just keep hold of him now when he feels like he's on the brink of potentially leaving, it's definitely the closest he's ever been to leaving. If we can keep hold of him now, anything can happen. So this is the moment and we just have to make sure it happens. And, you know, he's a good bloke, Hazard. He's conducted himself brilliantly over this. If we can just say to him, just persevere, there is an opportunity.
There might be something there. You go, look, give us a year.
Yeah.
Give us a year, and we'll go.
And we'll let you go. By the way, next year. You know, if Chelsea don't qualify for the Champions League and Sarri's sacked and it's all gone tits up, you could have a gentleman's agreement, couldn't you? Yeah. So fingers crossed. So on the cards, time to see him, James. Is Hazard going to be a Chelsea player when we kick off against Huddersfield?
I think he'll go.
That's a spirit. Thank you so much for coming on this channel. Really?
I do. I think there's too much pride from the Real Madrid side. I think there's too much.
What, they're going to have to sign a marquee player?
Yeah, and I think there's too much in Hazard's boyhood dreams to go to Real Madrid, and I think he'll just take it. And I think if you were in a stronger footing in the Champions League, like that's why he didn't go last year. You'd won the Champions League, everything was rosy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, James. I hope you enjoyed your stint on the CFC Fan TV, because after that comment, that'll be your last appearance. Of course, I'm only joking. Thank you so much for coming on. Like I said at the beginning of this video, James and I had a really in-depth chat about this on Ball Street. So click the link in the description. Head over there and make sure you subscribe to them if you haven't done it already. James, it's always a joy. Thank you so much. Also, you've got your own channel. Make sure you let people know.
Yeah, James Lawrence Allcott's my channel, talking about all sorts of things, but yeah, a lot of football.
Make sure you sub over there, and I will see you all on the next video. Go on, you blokes.